Shakyamuni, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are looking upon you with immense kindness and unconditional love, as a mother looks upon her only child. Second is the Bodhicitta field. Seated on either side of you are your two kind parents, your mother on the left and father on the right, and you are accompanied by all other dear mother sentient beings. You are leading them in the practice now. Third, the aim of the practice is to manifest the Buddha nature, which is the ultimate source of happiness, by removing the two mental obscurations, both afflictive obscurations, which are afflictions of negative emotions, contaminated karmas, and their corresponding active imprints, and cognitive obscurations, the subtle stains that are the inactive seeds of afflictions and contaminated karmas. So we'll all say the prayer together. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautam, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautam, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautam, I pay homage. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all leads hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, who through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of omniscience helps subduers expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata and protector, to whom I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. For refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. So now we will recite the essence of the dependent origination mantra, and we will sing it in the tune 3 times. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetam tesham tathagato hyavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato hyavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramanaye saha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato hyavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar-like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of Buddhas of the 3 times, I pay obeisance. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of all, I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, please liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, form purely, supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the dharma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness and death. Page 18, mantra of the Heart Sutra. We'll recite this 7 times. Tatya Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha Tyata Om Gate Gate Parasam Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Tyatha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. Next, 8 verses of mind training. Lighting of the lamp. So we'll do the lighting of the lamp. So please come forward one by one. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma on all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom.
Okay. Your name, Nidisha? Nishita. Thank you, Nishita. Okay, what we do is that we will do the 5 minutes breathing meditation. Again, it's going to be very quick. The instruction for the meditation, there are two kinds: analytical meditation and single pointed meditation, or karma body meditation. Very good. Finally, the point is that our mind, and they say our mind has a tremendous potential, tremendous power, tremendous treasure, that treasure happiness. And yet, sometimes we feel so low, sometimes we feel so dejected, sometimes we feel so happy, other times we feel so empty, hollow, gloomy. Okay, so what is happening is that it's not an easy process, but this is a reality, that this is what a mind feels. And under such situation, we need to learn. Say your friends, your parents, your brothers, sisters, they may feel that, okay, you are now going through a very low phase of your life. They will try to take you away and go to some good place, eateries, good place to eat. And still you feel so, there's no point in going out. I'm going to, say, in some cases, to a very beautiful, the landscapes and whatnot, but your mind does not find the peace and happiness. Is that happens? So, and it's not easy to deal with that. So for that matter, we need to learn. We need to learn these two things: analytical meditation and single-pointed meditation. We need to learn these two things, and finally, we should be able to find the remedy within yourself. Oftentimes, say some of the great teachers, they say that be your own therapist. Be your own therapist. So, but the thing is that we need to have the equipments, we need to have the tools. What tools? These two things: analytical meditation and single-pointed meditation. Finally, these two will help us. How? For that matter, our mind, when it is narrow, in thinking, then the gloominess sets in. Then the hopelessness and low feeling can set in. Whereas your mind is very broad and say the love and affection, then your mind will feel the lightness there. So this is how the psychology works. So given that this is the reality of mind, so see, this mind, eventually we should make it like a very bright light. Say in Ladakh, for example, in the winter, with light you are happy, without light you are happy. In the winter, with light, are you sure? No, speak your light, speak your mind. With light or without light? With light. Minus 20 degrees centigrade, and the weather a little foggy, wet, power cut. It's fun. No fun. This is when we become so gloomy. It's like the whole world has become dark. Okay. And then in the summer in Ladakh, August, September, what's the weather like? July, summer, very pleasant, right? Then May, June, extremely pleasant. You're happy or you feel gloomy? Happy. Okay, so we see that when there's light, you feel the freshness and the lightness of your being. So now, this light is not only the case, is the case of the external light, internal light also. So finally, external light contributes to the internal light. And internal light, when that is lit up, then you feel uplifted, you feel so light, you feel so happy. Then even you eat a very simple Ladakhi cookies, biscuit, Ladakhi biscuit, right? Even very simple Ladakhi biscuit, there's a joy there. When your mind goes down, even if you are given a treat in the 5-star hotel, it doesn't really give you any kind of joy, happiness. Okay, this is finally a mind. So, what the Buddha taught is that finally all our problems They are rooted to the ignorance, misperception of the reality. Ignorance. And this ignorance, when there's a darkness there, with ignorance it is like darkness. When in dark, you don't see the reality. With ignorance, you don't see the reality. In dark, you don't see what is around you. So ignorance is like darkness. And how to eradicate this darkness? How? Anybody? How to remove the darkness? Wow. Say in Ladakh when it's very cold, dark, paraka, then you have to light the knowledge? To light a candle, right? Light a candle. It is only through lighting the lamp, lighting a candle, lighting a lamp, that the darkness can be eradicated. Likewise, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom, the light of the knowledge, the light of the wisdom, that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. So therefore, we need to ignite the light of the wisdom. The next question is, what's the next question? What I said is that it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom, light of the knowledge, that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. What is your next question? What could be your next question? Anybody? Okay. How? So this light of the wisdom, in the first place, before we go into how, so this light should have two attributes, should have two facets. One is that this light should be very bright, which we discussed earlier, I'm sure. The light should be very bright, because if the light is very faint, feeble, then it does not even help you to see what is written there. You can read the book, forget about reading the book, you can't even do anything. It's so feeble there, feeble light, and there is it doesn't really serve the purpose. So light must be very bright, not just bright, very bright, right? Okay, the light must be very bright, number one. Then even if the light is there, then from the corner of your house, sometimes the wind blows, right? In Ladakh, does it happen? Insulation is not too good, then the wind blows, and then the light is flickery. Is it fun to see the light flickery, or to light is very steady is better? Steady is better. But light flickery, then it disturbs, it strains your eyes. So we should make sure that the light is very steady. So the same light could have two qualities, that it should be very bright and it should be steady. Very good. Likewise, the light of the wisdom that we are going to build, that we are going to introduce, this light must have two facets. One is it must be very bright and sharp. It must be very sharp, very bright and sharp. And number two, that it should be very steady. So the sharpness has to be built by the analytical meditation, and the steadiness will be built by the single-pointed meditation, or the calm abiding practice, calm abiding meditation. Okay, so for that matter we need the two things. And all the studies that we're doing here as a part of PANORAMA, so that is primarily to build the sharpness of a mind. Every time you study something sensible, you read something sensible, physics, mathematics, or commerce, or the business, whatever, you read something sensible, written by brilliant thinkers, you are sharpening your mind. And the Buddha Shakyamuni was one of the greatest thinkers of the world for all these millennia. So his thoughts, if we can learn from him, it'll help us to sharpen our intelligence, sharpen our wisdom. And then meanwhile, we also have to learn this single-pointed meditation to stabilize, to make this mind steady. Okay. So for this, what do we do now? The 5 minutes, what we're going to do is the part on the single-pointed meditation. For that, 4 points to keep in mind. What are they? Body posture, number 1. Number 2, focal point. Number 3, identify the errors of meditation. Number 4, wonderful, amazing. You already have the 4. Okay, that's good. Okay, the body posture. So cross leg would be wonderful. The left foot on your right leg and the right foot on your left leg. So if you can do it, well and good. If not, try in your rooms, respective rooms. In your room, try. And if it pains you, then again let it go. Relax. Once pain is gone, again bring it back. So this is what we're going to do. The cross-leg position, this is very helpful. Then number 2 is the body posture. Body posture upright. You should not be bent like this. Sit upright. Sit upright. This is extremely important. Sit upright. Meanwhile, body should be flexible. It should not be rigid. This is number 2. This is so important. And then don't lean again unless until you have a backache problem. Don't lean against the support. Don't lean against the support. And when you're not meditating, if you want to lean against support, do it. It doesn't matter. Lean against support with still the backbone upright. But when you're meditating, if you don't have a backache problem, then sit upright without leaning against the support. Okay, whereas if you do have a backache problem, then better take the support. That is the exception. And then the next is eyes not closed, eyes half open. 45 degrees cast down. And to keep your eyes, to do meditation with eyes closed is very dangerous, particularly the younger ones, all the young people here, the students. Make sure that you begin your meditation you learn your meditation with eyes open, not closed. And that too half open, 45 degrees cast down, naturally half open, not forcefully half open, naturally half open like this, 45 degrees cast down. Okay. Then the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in the mouth. And then the teeth and the lips in their natural course. Breathe naturally. Don't force a breath. Don't control a breath. Breathe naturally. Just let it happen very naturally. This is your the one posture. The next is right hand on your left hand. Tips of the two, the right hand on left hand. Tips of the two thumbs joining, the two thumbs standing, the tips of the two thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the two hands on your laps in a restful state. Okay, this is your body posture. Number 2 is the focal point. What are you going to meditate on? So to make it very simple, there are many ways of doing it. It doesn't mean that what we're doing here, what I'm teaching you here, is the correct one and all others are wrong. This is not true. There are so many versions. As long as it is coming from a very standard practice, a standard tradition, everything's fine. Whereas, don't try to do meditation through YouTube channels. You're getting it? That can be very dangerous. Okay. This is one thing that I'd like to share with you. So, the focal point number 2 is, say, the two things happening. 1, the breath. Counting your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1, breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2. So this is what we're going to do for 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, some people, the younger ones, you may have the breath count like 60 to 70 or 80, and then the others may have like 90, 100, depending on the length of the breath. Okay. If you're competent, if you think that you want to do you take a greater challenge, then alongside the breath, counting the breath, you can do the visualization of the tiny white dot, 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter between nose and upper lip. Okay, touch the spot between nose and upper lip. Okay, touch the spot. Okay, without looking at the way you are touching, simply feel it. Do you feel it? Do you feel something? Okay, when you say yes, your mind is talking. That mental consciousness which is saying yes, that is not your eyes. Your eyes are not looking at it. That mental consciousness which is aware that you are feeling something, that mental consciousness is going to be employed to meditate. That mental consciousness which says yes, I'm feeling, that mind is going to meditate, not your eyes. You're getting your eyes just 45 degrees cast down and leave it there. that mind which says, yes, I'm feeling, that mind is going to meditate. Okay. Then if you're very competent, then these two things will happen simultaneously, multitasking. One is counting the breath, simultaneously visualizing the tiny dot between nose and the upper lip. So these two things happen simultaneously. Then number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. And in the process, if you feel that doing both the things is very difficult, with your best of your attempt for like 1 week, then go for just the breath. Either just the breath or just the white dot that you choose. And for some people, white dot is difficult to visualize. If you want it very difficult to visualize, then you go for the breath. Okay. And then if you have questions, feel free to discuss. There are the senior ones here. For example, let's say that we have. Okay, from the student side, I think the one is Formula is here, then we have Nishida here, then Hamala is there, and then where's Tapala? Tapala is hiding there. Okay, so the seniors are there, and then of course there. What's your name? Sonamla. Sonamla is there. Okay, some of the seniors here, here. Okay, there are several seniors there, right? You can ask the seniors, and then okay, and then we have, I'll say so sometimes in my absence we have the Pujala here. So Puja will also have, okay, of course we have we have Ajirji there, but you will not get hold of Ajirji very easily, right? Okay, Ajirji you will find only when you are here in Tibet house. Okay, so Ajirji is there. He will be extremely helpful to help us. So kind. Okay, so we see that they are. This is how we make the most of the seniors. Good. And should you have challenges, it's very important to sort that out with the help of the other people. And if you're not happy, continue to have more discussions with other people. That's very important. Then the number 3, what is number 3? I gave you full, you gave me full. Identifying the errors of meditation. Very good. Okay, identifying the errors of meditation. Errors there are 2. What are they? Excitement and mental laxity. 2. Okay, to make it very simple, mental laxity is the inactivity of the mind. When the mind becomes passive, inactivity of the mind, and excitement is the overactivity of the mind. Okay, as simple as that. Then where is next point? I give you full, give me full. Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, and I give you full, you are giving me only half. Right? You have to give me full. Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, 2 remedies: introspection and mindfulness. So people talk about the mindfulness all the time. So oftentimes people mix up the 2 things, mindfulness and introspection, mix up, and then they give the common name, mindfulness. So to go into more detail, to be very precise, meticulous with the approach, it should be introspection and mindfulness. These 2 have different functions. Introspection is to keep an eye, is to spy on your own mind, to see what your mind is doing. That is the introspection. And the mindfulness is like the rope. Bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Once you identify that your mind is sleeping, your mind is in the excited state, then you bring the mind back to the intended object. Okay, ready? 5 minutes. Okay, any questions on meditation? Very quick, 1 or 2 questions before we proceed any further. Any challenges? Any difficulties? Any? Okay, for that we have to apply the remedies. Okay, any other questions? Yes? Okay, because you are in Delhi pollution. Young people may not feel it too easily. Elders like us, we can feel it very easily because our eyes are much weaker than yours. Your eyes are very strong, so some of you may not even feel, right? What you said is true, right? Generally speaking, elders, they can easily feel this, the eye pain, they become watery, and feels like blinking. This is the Delhi pollution. Because your eyes are very sensitive to the pollution. You can easily feel the corrosion. So for that, they try, and then they say once in a while, if it's so desperate, then you try to keep a handkerchief with you, then wipe your eyes, even in the middle. If it's too disturbing, then wipe your eyes, again keep it there, again continue. Yeah. Any more questions? Okay, no question? Yes? Okay, it's very dangerous because how many of you sleep with your eyes open? How many of you sleep with your eyes open? Most likely no one. You getting it? Which means that when the moment we keep our eyes closed, our mind will feel being foggy. You'll feel the fogginess instantly. Instantly you could feel it. Okay, when you look out with the eyes open, you can feel the lightness. Okay, just try it. Close eyes. Again, open it. Close eyes. Observe the difference. What's the difference? One, you can feel a little lightness. Other, the little instant. The moment you close your eyes, you feel the fogginess. Fogginess is the laxity. Fogginess is the laxity. So that laxity is the hindrance to your meditation, successful meditation. Okay, good. Now going to the main point. Last time did we do the 4 seals? No. Okay. So basically, what we learned at the Buddha nature last time. We did with example. Ale, Pujal explained it. Pujale, you explained the Buddha nature well. Water example. Water example.
Yes. Coal and water.
Huh?
Coal and water.
Okay, good. Good. Now, what is your water like? Pure water or dirty water?
Dirty water.
Are you sure? Pure water. How many of pure water? Yeah. How many of your mind, the true nature of mind is like the true nature of the water. How many of your mind corresponds to that? True nature of mind is so pure. Raise your hands. Okay, how many of your true nature of mind is not so pure? Raise your hands. How many of you, the true nature of mind is not so pure? Sometimes pure, sometimes not so pure. Raise your hands. True nature of your mind. Okay, true nature of mind is always pure. You getting it? What is impure is the adventitious nature. The true nature versus the adventitious nature. Adventitious nature of a mind is the very dirty, not pure. So when the gold is mixed with the soil, then the characteristics of the gold becomes characteristics. They become the non-visible. You don't see the glow of the gold. Otherwise the gold is to glow, but it doesn't glow when it's mixed with the soil. So how do you know that there's gold inside? How will you know that there's a gold inside? You remove the dirt, remove the soil, remove the soil by purifying it by removing the soil, then the gold inside will start to glow. You're getting it? Okay. So now the question is, what is this dirt? What is this dirt? What is that soil in the case of our mind? What is that dirt? The true nature of mind is like the true nature of the water, which is so pure, but our mind is not so clean, it's impure, it has defilements. So what is that defilement? What is that defilement? Okay, so this defilement, let me make it very quick. This defilement is of two kinds, gross and subtle. Did you discuss this before? No? Okay. This defilement which obscure this beautiful Buddha nature inside each one of us. Each one of us, we have this very pure Buddha nature inside. So that is defiled by the mental defilements. So these mental defilements, to remove that, to make this Buddha nature come out, to make the Buddha nature come out, we have to remove the dirt. To remove the dirt, mental dirt, you have to identify what the mental dirt is. So this mental dirt is of two kinds, the gross and the subtle. Gross and the subtle. The gross one is technically known as afflictive obscurations. In Tibetan, myundip, myunstip, myundip. How to call it in Ladakhi? Myunstip. Obscure. What is Ladakhi? Dip. Okay, nyun dip. One is nyun dip and the other is shistip. Shistip, shitip, shistip. One is nyun dip, the gross one, and the subtle one is the shistip, the cognitive obscuration. Afflictive obscuration, the gross one, the subtle one is cognitive obscuration. The gross one is known as nyun dip, the subtle one, cognitive obscuration, is known as shistip. Okay. For this we need to know the example. We need to know an example. Let's say somebody smashed the garlic. Let's say in my glass. Somebody smashed garlic in my glass, and let's say I don't eat garlic, and then you are the one who smashed garlic in my mug, and then you realize that it's my mug. Then you feel so apologetic. You apologized, you confessed, and what do? You go to wash it, remove the garlic, and then wash it so well. Is there any garlic in the mug? Is there any garlic in the mug anymore now? No garlic at all. You put a finger there, see, there's no garlic. Smell it. What smells? Still smells garlic. You're getting it? Okay. So the gross, you have removed the gross garlic. That is the nyundip, afflictive obscuration, gross mental defilement. You remove it, remove the gross garlic, still the smell is left. Although there's no solid garlic left there, but the smell is left. That is the shistip, the subtle defilement, known as cognitive obscuration or shistip. These two. Now, if you have these two, what's the problem? If you have these two, what's the problem? For this we have to know, okay, how many of you have the experience of suffering in your life? Suffering, problems. Raise your hands. How many of you don't know what suffering is? Raise your hands. Okay. How come the young ones? You already have suffering. Huh? Okay, you have suffering. You want it or not want? Hey, you want? Are you sure? Okay, you are sure that. Oh, who's that? The boys or the girls? Are you sure? How do you know the girls? No. How do you as a girl know that the boys also don't want suffering? How do you know that? Okay, it's a fact. Okay, what about Buddhists and non-Buddhists? Or what about high caste, low caste? We are same. There's no caste difference. You're getting it? We are same. Boys and girls, we don't want suffering. And how many want happiness? Raise hands. Wonderful. How many want happiness? You want 10% happiness? Or 20% happiness? If possible, don't be too ambitious. At the most you can say, if possible, 100%. If possible, you are not sure whether 100% happiness is possible or not possible. You are not sure. If possible, 100% happiness. You're getting it? Okay, who is that? Boys or girls? Both. Again, both. All right? Okay, what about Buddhists or non-Buddhists? Both. Old, young. Look. In fact, we can see that these are the true realities. Everybody is struggling in this universe, in this world. Everybody is struggling. Whether you're Buddhist, non-Buddhist, whether you're girl or boy, we are struggling for these two. And in fact, everybody has the treasure of the freedom from miseries or fearlessness. Fearlessness of the miseries. No miseries, no fear of the miseries. And the infinite happiness. Everybody has this treasure. That treasure is known as Buddha nature, Tathagata Garbha, Sangeskirik, right? How do you say in Ladakh? Sangeskirik, Riks or Rik? Riks, Sangeskirik's Buddha nature. You're getting it? This is with everyone. So therefore the Buddha said that there is no difference between the gender. There's no difference between the gender. It is by no means the males are superior to the females. You're getting it? By no means males are superior to the females. By no means the females are inferior to the boys, number one. Number two, there's no caste difference. Everybody is equal. Right? Everybody is equal with respect to this Buddha nature. This purity is with everybody. So there's no difference. There's total equality there. Therefore, the Buddha is oftentimes referred to as a great revolutionary. A great revolutionary to revolutionize the idea of the equality. That everybody is equal. There's no difference in terms of your true purity. You are the purest. You have the seat of the purity inside. And you have the seat of the ultimate happiness. You have the seat of the total fearlessness over any miseries, any problems. This is what the Buddha taught. You're getting it? So therefore, following the Buddha's teachings and then saying that the boys are superior than the girls, male chauvinism, this is totally wrong, number one. Following the Buddha's teachings and being convinced that yes, this purity is inside everybody, then believing in a caste system where I belong to a higher caste, you belong to a lower caste, this is totally wrong. If you believe in the Buddha's teachings, if you're convinced of the reality of the Buddha nature inside everyone, including the tiny insects, the cats, dogs, let alone the human beings, even the cats, dogs, animals, if you believe in the Buddha's teachings, particularly not just believe, you get conviction that this is the reality, that everybody has the seat of the perfection, right? Then somebody to really follow the caste system, to follow the male chauvinism, this is totally wrong. You're getting it? So the real democracy, the real spirit of democracy, the real spirit of equality is very strongly advocated by the Buddha Shakyamuni. Okay, this is what we need to keep in mind. So with this in mind, in practical terms, younger ones, in the past, for example, in Tibet, in Ladakh, in India, in most places, there is some form of caste system, caste discrimination, on the gender, on the basis of gender, on the basis of caste, and so forth. These things are there, almost everywhere. Almost everywhere. This was there, and then they now with the greater awareness. With the greater awareness, what's the opposite of awareness? Ignorance. You're getting it? Now with the greater awareness, outcomes of the ignorance must go away. It's outdated. Discrimination on the basis of the gender, discrimination on the basis of the caste, these are all outdated. You're getting it? Outdated. Okay, so therefore, do you see any temples where the girls are not allowed? Right?
Yes.
Okay, so the girls are very happy. Yes. Right? If I have the authority, I will surely abolish all these things. I will make it accessible to boys and girls, because not only I believe in it, this is reality. This is reality. By no means boys are superior. By no means. This is reality. We have to acknowledge the reality. Okay, so with this in mind, sometimes I jokingly say, but wait, till what time? Okay, jokingly sometimes what I say is that if there is say some temples which forbid the girls from going there, what I say that, why do you have to go there, particularly in the Buddhist area? Why do you have to go to these temples? Right? In Buddhism, the supreme head is, who is the supreme head of Buddhism? Buddha, right? There's so many Buddha temples where the Buddha image is there, right? That temple, which does not allow the girls to go, that temple may be some deities, but Buddha is the boss of that deity. So we can go to the boss, ignore the other side. Even the 10 rupees you want to donate to the Buddha temple, right? Or you have an ice cream for yourself, right? If they forbid you, who cares? So this is where we need to have these kind of thoughts. With this in mind, having said this, but what I would say is that older generations, because of lack of awareness, because of lack of such opportunity of, say, this interaction, created the opportunity created by PANORAMA and in Tibet House, because of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, his openness, his wanting to really revolutionize the human beings to the state of equality. So because of these factors, we got the opportunity. We got the opportunity. Because we got this opportunity, then we are not to fight with the parents who did not get the opportunity to learn these teachings, very precious teachings of Buddha. They did not get the opportunity, so therefore they stick to the earlier, older, the views, outdated belief system. So you can explain, and if they still don't accept what he is saying, it's fine. You change yourself, but don't fight. Don't fight. Where you can make a change. If there's a fight and more conflicts arise, no point. Again, creating conflicts, this is not the intention of the Buddha. The Buddha's intention is to bring harmony, not fights. You're getting it? Where you can bring change, then do it. Be proactive, don't be passive. Okay, so this basic idea. With this in mind, finally our job is to, this purity, let it come out. Let this gold, when mixed with the soil, let this gold come out. That gold is there within each one of us. It doesn't matter whether you're boy or girl, whether you're high class, low class, whatever. It doesn't matter. Everybody has this gold. So our job is, first thing, to make this gold come out. How to make it come out? By removing the dirt, mental dirt. What is that mental dirt? There are two kinds, gross and the subtle. The gross one is known as afflictive obscurations in Ladagi, Yuntip, and the subtle one known as cognitive obscurations known as Shestips. Okay. So these two now, with these two things happening there, what happens? Okay, let's see. What I would say is that all of us, we want to get away from suffering. Do you agree with me or not? I will tell you two things. Number one is that we all, whether you're Buddhist, non-Buddhist, whether you are a girl, boy, old, young, educated, uneducated, it doesn't matter. Everybody wants to get away from suffering. How many of you agree with me? Very good. Number two, everybody wants the maximum happiness. How many of you agree with me? Very good. Okay. So finally, the agenda of life is to, if somebody asks you, what is the meaning of life? What's the purpose of life? If somebody asks you, what's the purpose of life? What's the meaning of life? Delhi University, I think 2008, when His Holiness the Dalai Lama was giving a public address in Delhi University, at the end of the address, one girl stood up to ask a question, what is the purpose of life? Then His Holiness replied that we live on hope. Is it true? Yes. We hope for happiness. We don't hope for suffering. How many of you say that, oh, you wake up the early morning, you wake up, or today I'm so excited I'll have suffering? How many of you are looking forward to suffering? Nobody. We are looking forward to happiness. Oh, today's my birthday, I'm expecting some gift from my mother, right? Or party from my friends. We expect happiness. So we live on hopes, and we hope for happiness. Very good. Okay, with this in mind, then the agenda of a life is to get rid of all the suffering and to have the maximum happiness. You're getting it? These two are not same. To get rid of suffering, to have the maximum happiness, these two are not same. How many of you think that yes, what you said makes sense? These two are not same. How many of you think that? No suffering and maximum happiness. These two are not same. Okay, anybody who can explain this? How these two are not same? Anybody? Can explain how these two are not same? Okay, first raise hands those who say that these two are not same. Raise hands. No suffering on the one hand and happiness. Maximum happiness. Very good. Anybody who can defend this? Anybody who can defend this? Okay, so I'll give you some examples so that you can, it makes, if there's no suffering, there is happiness. Very happy, right? Okay, these two are not the same. How? I'll give you one example. And then finally, what I'm doing here is just to give you tips. And your job is to take this and then see if it works. Let's say that you are all physics students, no, physics professors. You're all physics professors, not the shining professors, mediocre professors, right? So let's say we are all mediocre physics professors. And our vice chancellor suddenly calls you up and said that, hey, the UGC Indian government has invited the 1,000 PhD students from all over the world to our university. And then we should take the responsibility to address them. And you should give a talk to them. 1,000 PhD students from all over the world. Harvard University, Cambridge University, Oxford University, and so forth. All from all over, 1,000 PhD students are coming there. And you are the Vice Chancellor assigned you to give the public talk. Are you happy or not happy? Very excited? Wow, what an honor to address the 1,000 students from all over the world. Hey, tell me. Why not? What an honor.
You are a mediocre professor.
You are a mediocre professor, yes?
So no.
Why not? You are scared. You're getting it? You're nervous. You're very scared. No way. You're getting it? You're so scared. Why? Because these 1,000 students, future Nobel laureates in physics are there. Right? They can put you into any problem, any questions. You get stuck. You're getting it? You are so nervous. So therefore you have a fear. Is it a pleasant, miserable experience or happy experience? Miserable experience. Do you want that or not want? No. Then what do you do now? Right? This is my job. Okay, I cannot say no to my vice chancellor. Then you run to Albert Einstein. You run to Albert Einstein. Professor Einstein, please help me. What happened? I have to give a talk to the 1,000 PhD students from all over the world. And I cannot do it. I'm just a mediocre professor, you know that. Please do that. I said, okay, I'll do it. Now Einstein accepted to give the talk in place of you. Is he afraid or not? He's not afraid. Right? He's not. There's no fear there. He does not feel misery. He does not feel miserable. Yes? There's no misery there. There's no suffering there. There's no fear there. But is he happy? No. Right? He's not happy because he had a conflict with Germany. Right? Nazi. Right? Nazi, they're trying to arrest him. Right? So therefore he's not too happy with that. But there's no fear there with this talk. He has no fear. He has no fear. He has no misery in terms of the talk, but mentally he's not too happy. So, no fear, but doesn't mean that you are very happy. You're getting it? Okay. Whereas you involve Niels Bohr. Niels Bohr, who is also a scientist, physicist. Again, I don't know whether he's a Nobel laureate, but he's one of the biggest founding fathers of quantum physics. You invite him. And he said, okay, yes, then if Einstein has a little bit of problem with the Nazis, then I'll do it. And he takes over. He has no fear, and it is his birthday. He's happy, not happy? Very happy with his birthday. And then no fear to give a talk. So he is the example of no fear and maximum happiness. Einstein at that point, with the problem from the Nazi, no fear, over the top, but not happy. And us, the mediocre professors, fear, no happiness. You're getting it? Okay, so therefore our goal is to be free from all miseries and to have the maximum happiness. 2, this is if somebody were to ask you, what is the meaning of life? The life is so miserable, it's just hopeless. If somebody asks you like this, no, life is so beautiful. You have a seat of perfection. You have the Sangye's rigs. You have the Buddha nature inside, right? Yes, a goal there. You have a goal there. The goal is not visible because it is obscured by the soil. You have to remove the soil. This goal will come out. It's so beautiful. Then the fears will go down. Your boredom will go down. Your happiness will glow. You getting it? This is what happened. Okay. So for this, to remove the fear, to become fearlessness, one job is to become fearless. Number 2 job is to have the maximum happiness. 2, to remove the fear is technically known as nirvana. The fearlessness is technically known as nirvana. In a loose sense, you can say fearlessness. When you talk to non-Buddhist people, don't say nirvana. You are seeking nirvana. They say, no, what is nirvana? It's a Buddhist concept, right? Actually, it's a fearlessness. Fearlessness, is this a Buddhist concept or everybody seeks that? Everybody seeks that. It's not a Buddhist concept. You're getting it? Fearlessness is what everybody seeks that. But in in Buddhist context, it is given the label nirvana. Nirvana or nirvana, right? Nirvana. And then the other one is, other side of and the meaning of life is infinite happiness. You're getting it? Infinite happiness. Infinite happiness is technically known as Buddhahood. Infinite happiness is technically referred to as Buddhahood. You're getting it? So our goal is nirvana and Buddhahood. Our goal is to achieve nirvana and Buddhahood. And in a loose sense, where you want to go to a secular audience, you want to talk to a secular audience, you talk about fearlessness and infinite happiness. Don't talk about Buddhahood and nirvana. You're getting it? Okay, you should know what language to use. Okay, now, how many of you have the fearlessness now? How many of you have fearlessness? You don't have, no one. There must be one or two. No? How many have fears, Rajan? Fears or miseries, problems. Fears, miseries, problems, they all mean the same. How many of you have that? Okay, all of us have. Good. Now, that fearlessness, while we have the seat of fearlessness inside, why the fearlessness is not coming out is because of the afflictive obscurations. While we have the seat of infinite happiness inside, why we don't experience that? It's because of cognitive obscurations. You're getting it? Okay. So our job is to get rid of the afflictive obscurations and the cognitive obscurations. Okay. So to get rid of, first let's tackle with the afflictive obscurations. To get rid of afflictive obscurations, we need to know first what is afflictive obscurations, what is Nyuntib, what is it like? What is it like? Okay, I have Dorje Phalam in my pocket. You want to see that? Huh? I have a Dorje Phalam in my pocket. Huh? You want to see that? You want to buy it? Huh? Or you want to eat it? Huh? Hey, don't be too bored. Tell me, what you want to eat it? Dorje Phalam? No. Huh? You don't want to eat it. You want to buy it? Then you want to eat it at home? You don't know what Dorje Phalam is. First you have to ask me, what is Dorje Phalam? You're getting it? Okay. So therefore, first we speak about afflictive obscurations. Nyuntib. What is Nyuntib? You have to know what Nyuntib is. So Nyuntib, afflictive obscurations, it is of three kinds. It is of three kinds. Contaminated karmas, afflictions, and the respective active seeds, or the active seeds. Contaminated karmas, afflictions, and their active seeds. That is, afflictive obscurations is of three kinds. Contaminated karmas, successless, you call it less, karmas. Less günde, last günde, last. Successless, contaminated karmas, nyunmongs. Number 2, nyunmongs. Then number 3 is active seeds. Sapun. Nyumong sapun. Seed. Sapun, yeah. Active seeds. Active seeds of the first two. These three are the afflictive obscurations. And all these three, the root is one. All these three, the root is self-grasping ignorance. Dangzin marikba. Self-grasping ignorance. Dangzin marikba. From this, what we learned is that all these afflictive obscurations, why we don't feel this fearlessness, why we constantly have some kind of fears, misery, anxiety, stress, unhappiness, is because of the Dangzin Marikba, self-grasping ignorance. You getting it? Okay. So the Buddha, it is for this reason the Buddha said that all our miseries are rooted to the ignorance. All our miseries are rooted to ignorance. If you don't want ignorance, if you don't want miseries, get rid of the ignorance. Okay, this is job. Ignorance there's ignorance marikpa. Okay, ignorance is marikpa. Then say the ignorance is the ground. Same, if there is the iceberg in the Arctic Circle or Antarctica Circle, on the iceberg you build the houses, castles. For thousands of years they last. And then because of the global warming, icebergs melt. And what happens to the castles that you build on top of that? They will all collapse. When the iceberg of ignorance melts, all the contaminated karmas, afflictions, miseries, they will all collapse. Miseries will collapse, will disappear. So ignorance is like the iceberg on which the miseries are built up. When the ignorance the iceberg of the ignorance melts, then all the miseries will dissolve. All the miseries will go away. Okay. So for that, if you don't want suffering, what should you do? Hey, if you don't want suffering, what should you do? If you don't want miseries, what should you do? To get rid of ignorance. How do we get rid of ignorance? By cultivating the wisdom. Very good. Okay. So with this, okay, can we go till 7:30? No problem? If there's a problem, then if you have some urgent work, feel free to leave. Otherwise, we'll go till 7:30. Is all right? Okay. Now, the Buddha indicated that all sufferings originate from ignorance. Right? Okay. This ignorance also referred to in English, also referred to as misperception. Misperception. Ignorance, misperception. Ignorance, while there are so many kinds of ignorance, There are four main ignorances which are responsible for creating all our problems. Okay, how many you have seen iPhone X? You've seen? How many you have seen iPhone 11? How many want to have iPhone 11? You don't want? Wow, that's amazing. You don't want iPhone 11. If somebody gives you free? Free, yes. Okay. And then if by chance you get iPhone 11, and suddenly if it drops, what will happen? You'll have a heart attack, right? Or if somebody scratches it, your heart is scratched, right? You agree with me? Yeah. Laptop, you have a brand new laptop, and suddenly, right, it falls stuck, then your heart falls. Okay, this is because of this feeling, the iPhone drops, and the feeling that you get, like this feeling, is it pleasant or fun? Is it full of fun, or I don't want that experience? I don't want that. This is because this problem, which you don't want, you're going to have it because of the misperception that iPhone X should be permanent. iPhone 11 should be permanent. You're getting it? While it is impermanent, the reality is impermanent. It's not permanent. It's impermanent. But we see the impermanent phenomena as permanent. This is the first misperception. Misperceiving impermanent phenomena to be permanent. That creates many of our problems. Okay, how many feel shock when one of your very close family members they passes away? How many of you feel shock? Shock means, I can't believe it happens. You're getting it? I can't believe. Why you can't believe it? Because that person should be permanent. How many are permanent? Raise your hands. And how many of your mother will be shocked if something happens to you? Almost all of us. You're getting it? Why? Your mother has to believe that my daughter is permanent, my son is permanent. You're getting it? So this sense of permanence, what is actually impermanent? What is actually impermanent? You see it as permanent. That is the one which creates many of the miseries. Number one. Okay. Number two. How many of you are eating a sweet? Then let's say you are eating a sweet, and then you take up the sweet. You take up the sweet, and you put it back. How many how many can do it? You are taking sweet, and you take it back, and again you eat it. Huh? How many you can do it? All of us. Okay. Then your friend, meaning a stranger, is eating a sweet. You take it out and you eat it. How many of you will do it? No. Why not? Why not? Huh? That's dirty. It's jutta. That's dirty. The one that you have taken from your mouth, that's clean. You're getting it? So we have this misperception. And the other person will say the same thing. You take it out, he or she will put it, no, it's jutta. You're getting it? You consider it as clean, but he or she considers this as dirty. You're getting it? So the second problem is when you see impure things as pure. Impure things as pure, misperceiving impure things as pure. This is another problem. This creates lots of problem. Right? And you take a shower, and then, okay, now I'm very clean. And somebody comes and touch your body like this. No, you're very dirty, right? Okay, you're very dirty. Okay, you'll say this, you see yourself so pure. Actually, then is it really pure? This is the question. You're getting it? How do you know that? Right? And then we put perfume, right? Because to give a good smell. When the perfume, the artificial smell goes away, then another smell comes out. There's the natural smell. Natural smell is good or bad? It's not good. You're getting it? So naturally, it is not really pure. It's impure. But we view it as pure. And yet, because this is not the reality, this perception of impure as pure can create many problems. Can create many problems. You're getting it? Okay. Then the next one is the reality is that everything is like a dream. The reality is everything is like a dream. But we view things as, okay, let's say, how many of you had very scary dreams in your life? At least once in your lifetime. How many of you never had a scary dream in your life? Okay, no one. We all had scary dreams. Okay. Anybody who likes to share a scary dream? Very quick. Very quick. We don't have time. Very quick. Anybody? Anybody? Raise hands. Somebody who likes to share a scary dream? Very quick. Any? Yes?
It's kind of funny for
Okay, the mic.
I had a dream that one of my projects, which I was almost done working on, got cancelled in the end, and they said that they will not pay me now because it's been cancelled.
Then
So
what
all
happened
my
to you?
work got wasted, and in my dream I was crying really hard.
Okay.
And then the next morning I woke up and I called my client to confirm if the project is still happening.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's funny for others, but
No,
it
no, it's
was
not funny.
really
It's
scary for
very
me.
scary, yeah.
Yeah, for me
It's
it was
very
very scary.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, Nishita, thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else to share a dream? Very quick dream, scary dream. Anybody? Yes, over there. Mike.
Actually, I had a big fear of snakes, and I have seen like huge snakes on the roof of my house in my dreams.
Okay, then?
Then I was just like totally scared. Then next day, my mom said, "Just go to Shiva temple and just and just like."
No. In the dream, what did you do? In the dream, you ran?
Sometimes in my childhood, not now.
No. In the dream,
Yes.
whether when you were a child or today, it doesn't matter. When that dream happened, did you run in the dream, or you just stayed facing the snake? What did you do?
I just wake up, after
Seeing the snake, you woke up. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Then the next day you went to Shiva temple.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Very quick. Yes. Here the girl.
I once dreamed like we had an accident and in which I lost my parents. Like.
Okay, that is quite a scary dream.
Yeah, it was very
Okay,
scary.
accident meeting with an accident, right? Then in the dream, what did you do?
I just woke up and then I was like,
Okay.
I don't stay with my mother, so I just called her up and like.
Double check that you are there. Okay, nowadays the younger ones, they check. Okay, anybody else? Very quick. Yes, Sonamla.
Yeshla, when we were in Beer, I saw one dream and in my room so many creepy crawlers, insects and bugs all coming towards me.
Then what did you do?
And then I jumped off my bed and ran away.
In the dream? In the dream?
Yes.
You jumped?
Yeah.
Then when you wake up, continue to jump?
No.
Okay. Okay, so the Sonamla had a dream of being, say, in a place where in the bed, where all the insects, the bugs, they come to eat him up, and then he jumped. When he wake up, he did not continue to jump, right? You happily stayed in the bed. Okay. With this, we all have our dreams, scary dreams, once in a while. Say the case of Sonamla's dream, let's say that he jumped. Why did he jump? Scared means you have to jump. I see, that's interesting.
because he thought the insects were really.
Okay, he jumped, meant to be away from the insects. Meant to be away from insects. Okay, when he woke up, he continued to jump or he just relaxed? Relax. Why not jump now? Because he knows that it was not real. It was his dream. In the dream, why did he jump? He thought it was real. He thought the dream was real. You getting it? Seeing the dream as real happens in the dream or outside the dream? Seeing the dream as real happens in the dream or outside the dream? Inside the dream. Seeing the dream as real, is this ignorance or wisdom? Ignorance. Ignorance, the outcome is jump, the fear, right? And seeing the dream as dream happens in dream or outside dream? Seeing the dream as dream happens outside dream or inside dream? Wow, inside the dream. That's interesting. Seeing the dream as dream. Oh, there was dream. It happened in the dream or outside dream?
Outside.
Okay, I thought that you were a great yogi. Yeah, yogis in the dream, they realize, yes, I'm dreaming. It's a dream. Okay, so in the dream as dream, it happens outside dream. Right? That is wisdom or ignorance. With the wisdom, then Sonamla, relax. With the ignorance, fear. Wisdom, relax, relief. Okay, what do you want? You want the fear or relief? Relief. If you want relief, go for wisdom. Don't go for ignorance. You're getting? And ignorance, there are 4 kinds. One is ignorance, misperceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. Number 2, misperceiving impure things as pure. Number 3, okay, yes. Okay, then the let's see. Okay, how many of you enjoy momos? How many of you enjoy momos? It's all like we have no idea what momo is. How many of you enjoy momos? Raise your hands. Okay. Huh? Okay, momos. Good. Okay, how many of you enjoyed the first momo or the 50th momo? Huh? First momo or the 50th? Some boys may go for 50th, no problem. The girls usually 10, not 50. 50 what happens? 50 what happens? Not good. It makes you throw up. Okay, so seeing whereas when you're hungry, okay, how many of you, be very honest, when you are very young, when you were age 7, 8, 9, 10, you're very hungry, and then finally your mother, your father cooks some momos there. Today I will have 30. I'll eat 30, raise hands. Or I'll eat 40, raise hands. Actually, you can eat only 7 or 8. I'll raise hands. Who said I'll eat 30 today? Raise hands. All of us, you're getting it? 30 momos, if you eat, it will make you sick. You're getting it? So you see eating 30 momos is happy, but in actuality, it is suffering. So what is suffering, you see as happiness. You're getting it? So the third misperception is misperceiving unhappiness, suffering, misperceiving suffering as happiness. Then number 4 is misperceiving selfless nature. Misperceiving selfless nature as selfhood. Misperceiving selfless nature as of selfhood nature. Okay, what is number 3? Number 4. Number 4, misperceiving selfless nature as of selfhood. It means misperceiving what is dreamlike as real. What is dreamlike as real? Everything is dreamlike. Everything is dreamlike, but we see them as real. That is the greatest of the ignorance. Misperceiving dreamlike as real. Oh, technically it is misperceiving selfless nature as of selfhood nature. Selfhood nature. You getting it? These are the 4 levels of ignorance, 4 levels of misperceptions, which are responsible for creating all our problems. Now, if somebody tells you the Buddha taught that all our miseries are rooted to ignorance. What is ignorance? Then you say 4 kinds of ignorance. What are they? Misperceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. Misperceiving. Okay, first you switch number 2 and 3. Make number 3 number 2. Make number 3 number 2. Make number 2 number 3. Just alternate the two. Misperceiving miseries as happiness. Number 3, misperceiving impure as pure. Then number 4, misperceiving selfless nature as of selfhood nature. Very good. Okay, now unless we get rid of these four, and these four, how we put them in this order is in the order of progressively becoming subtler. Progressively becoming subtler. The first one is very gross. Second one is little subtler. Third one is subtler. Fourth one is subtlest. In the order of the progressively becoming subtler. The first one is grossest and the last one is subtlest. Ignorance becoming subtler, subtler, subtler. Okay. Finally, the ignorance, which is like the iceberg on which all the buildings are stacked. When the iceberg melts, everything collapses, all the suffering dissolves. Or another example is the poisonous tree with the root, then gives rise to the branch, gives rise to the leaves, gives rise to all the millions of poisonous leaves there, right? When the root is cut, all these millions of the poisonous leaves, they will all dry on their own. So, what is the final root? The final root of all the sufferings is, of the four ignorance, the fourth one. What is the fourth one? Misperceiving selfless nature as of selfhood nature. So this is known as Dangzin Marikpa, self-grasping ignorance. Number 4 is this self-grasping ignorance. This is the final ignorance which is responsible for that. Now our job is to get rid of all these 4 levels of ignorance. How to get rid of this? The Buddha taught what is known as the four seals of the Buddha's teachings. The 4 seals. S-E-A-S-E-A-L-S. Seals. 4 seals of the Buddha's teachings. The 4 seals. In Tibetan we call it Tawakataki Chakyashi. Tawakataki Chakyashi. Tawakataki Chakyashi. The 4 seals of the Buddha's teachings. This is so important. Okay. Okay, the 4 seals of Buddha's teachings, we have to know these 4. Very important. The first one is, all composite things are impermanent. All composite things are impermanent. Dujie tamje mitakpa. Dujie tamje mitakpa. Tamala, how do you say this in Ladakh? Dujie tamset mitakpa. Yeah. Dusyas tamset mitakpa. All composite things are impermanent. Number 1. Number 2, all contaminated things are of suffering nature. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. Sakches tamset dungelwa. Duksngelwa. Dungelwa. The all contaminated things are of suffering nature. Sakches tamset dungelwa. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. Number 2. Number 3. Number 3. Everything is of the nature, or all phenomena are the nature of selflessness, of the emptiness and selfless nature. Or let's put it like that. Everything is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Everything is of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Then number 4, transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Nyanganless Despa, Nyangin, Les Deba, Shiva Wo. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Okay, so now, on the one hand, we learn about the 4 levels of ignorance, 4 kinds of ignorance, 4 levels of ignorance. On the other hand, we learn the 4 wisdoms, the opposite wisdoms. What's the first wisdom? Wisdom to see all composite things as impermanent, right? What the first ignorance is, viewing the impermanent thing as permanent. Whereas the wisdom says to no, we should see impermanent things as impermanent, not as permanent. This is number 1. What is number 2? What is number 2 ignorance? Viewing suffering nature as happiness. Now the wisdom is viewing all contaminated things as suffering nature, not happiness. All contaminated things are of suffering nature, number 2. Then number 3, what is it? Number 3, ignorance. Viewing impure things as pure. That is, what is number 3? Number 3 seal. Everything is of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. So emptiness, the first one, it has 2 parts. Number 3 has 2 parts, emptiness and selflessness. Emptiness, you relate this with the wisdom of emptiness, relate this with to getting rid of the ignorance of viewing impure things as pure. Then the selflessness with the ignorance, viewing this selfless nature as selfhood. You getting it? Okay, so this is what we should learn. So how to get rid of this ignorance? By knowing the 4 seals. By knowing the 4 seals. Okay, the 4 seals, I'll quickly explain what they are. Wait, how many more sessions we have? 5 more sessions. How many sessions I will take? 3 sessions. Okay, since there are 3 more sessions, we can go into the more details later. But for the time being, we have still about 12 minutes. What is the first seal? All composite things are impermanent. You're getting it? Okay, this is what we have to learn. The boys and girls here, particularly the Ladakh boys and girls. All composite things are impermanent. Buddha did not say everything is impermanent, right? Buddha did not say everything is impermanent. Many people say that. Oh, in Buddhism everything is impermanent. That's not true. That's not true. In a very loose sense, where somebody is not exposed to the sophisticated philosophy of the Buddha's teachings, then you can say everything is impermanent. But this is not the reality. Reality is only the composite things are impermanent, not the non-composite things are impermanent. Non-composite things are not impermanent. Only the composite things are impermanent. You're getting it? Okay, now we are going to the more detailed study of the philosophy. You're getting it? We're going to detail into the philosophy, and technically it's not the taxonomy of the phenomena. Taxonomy meaning the classification of the phenomena. This is very important. We have to learn it today, right? We have to learn it today. The taxonomy of the phenomena, same. All phenomena meaning something which exists. Anything which exists is known as phenomena. Phenomena and existence, these two are synonymous. You're getting it? So, phenomena, if you want to make a table or a chart, make it. Say phenomena is the main umbrella. It can be divided into composite and non-composite. Phenomena divided into composite and non-composite. Composite equals impermanent phenomena. Non-composite equals permanent phenomena. This is very important because you are bound to meet with college friends from who have no exposure to the Buddhist philosophy. So you may have some discussions. Some people who have a very naive understanding of Buddhism, you have discussions. So there you can explain them very clearly. Say the phenomena existence equals existence. So this has two categories. One is composite and the other one is non-composite. Or some people, they use the English translation. What is that? Composite? Huh? No. Any compounded. Compounded phenomena, composite phenomena is a matter of translation. You can use any of these two translation. I usually use the word composite phenomena, but some translators use it as compounded. Both are correct. Composite / compounded equals impermanent phenomena. Then on the other side we have non-composite, uncompounded. Non-composite / uncompounded equals permanent phenomena. You getting it? Okay. Now, impermanent phenomena, composite phenomena, further classified into three categories. Impermanent phenomena further classified into three categories. Number one, form, physical form. Number one, physical form. Number two, mind. Number two, mind. Number three, non-associated compositional factors. Form, in the Ladakhi, suks, yeah, form, suks. Then number two, mind, sense. Number two, sense. Number three, what is number three? Non-associated compositional factors. In Ladakhi, it can be Denmin Dusyet. Denmin Dusyet. This is a technical term. Even your parents don't know this. Don't worry. Right? You just write it. Denmin Dusyet. Why I'm giving these the vocabularies, Tibetan vocabularies or Ladakhi vocabularies, is that when you happen to meet with geshes or kempos, when you meet with them, then you want, I learned this, I'm not too clear about this, I learned the non-associated composition factor. Then they will ask you, what is non-associated composition factor? And then you don't have the word in Ladakhi. Whereas if you know, okay, then you read the book, oh, it's Denmin Dusyet, right? And they'll be, oh yeah, okay, you got it correct. Then they'll explain this to you, right? And then mind, I want to know what mind is. What is mind in Ladakhi? No, I don't know, I didn't learn it. What is that mind? Sense. And then form, suks, right? Okay, so these three. Any questions? Any questions now? Very quick. From what we've discussed thus far, if you need any, there are many questions. I don't know whether from you or not. Right? There are many questions. Any questions? Your things are not clear anywhere. Okay, mic.
Geshe-la, could you please elaborate on this misperceiving selfless nature as selfhood nature? Okay,
this is, don't worry, I have 3 more sessions. All the sessions will hover around this. It will be the dedicated to explain this part. Don't worry on this. Anybody, anything else? Huh? Any more questions? Yes, Amala? If things are not clear, a word is used but you don't know what the meaning is, let me know.
Geshe-la, what is composite and what is non-composite things?
Looks, the Hamala is asking this question not for her, on behalf of most of you. She knows it already. Right, Hamala? Yeah, she knows the meaning already. Right? Look, she's so kind. This is what I'm asking. Right? Okay, how many of you know what is the composite phenomenon? How many of you know that? Raise your hands. If you don't know this, why do you not ask this question to me? This is what I've been waiting. You getting it? Okay, Hamala asked this on your behalf. You should be feeling grateful to Hamala. Thank you. Okay, so what is composite phenomena? Composite phenomena equals impermanent phenomena. Non-composite equals permanent phenomena. Tell me which you are more interested in, composite, non-composite. Speak your mind. Okay, Thapal is there. Thapal also knows that. But he's speaking on your behalf. Okay, tell me, those who are for the first time meaning panorama, first time, right? Tell me, speak your mind, which you are more interested? Composite, non-composite? Impermanent or permanent phenomena? Safest thing is to say both. So that you'll get both, huh? Impermanent. Nishida, you already know this. Anybody else? Composite. Okay, because the Buddhas taught the composite phenomena. Okay, some people say, why? What is non-composite? What is permanent phenomena? I learned that everything is impermanent. Today I'm learning that not everything is permanent. What is a permanent phenomenon in Buddhism? Right? Okay, composite means anything which is composed. Anything which is composed of physical particles or mental segments, temporal segments of the mind or physical segments of the form. Anything which is composed. I'm not saying anything which is composed of parts. No, this is not a connotation. Composite phenomena is anything which is composed of physical particles or temporal segments of the mind. Temporal, T-M-P-O-R-A-L, temporal segments of the mind, or physical segments of the form, physical particles. Anything which is composed of physical particles, or, okay, now, what do you do is that let us give some examples. Examples meaning that you can speak of anything which is existent. You can give me some examples, then we'll see where they fit. Whether they're permanent or impermanent, within impermanent composite, say which of the composite, physical form, mind, non-associated composite factor, and you did not ask me what is non-associated composite factor, right? So we have to learn all these things. Okay, good. So don't feel hesitant. You're getting it? It's so important that we should not become a passive listener, but this approach that I'm encouraging you is not something that you should readily apply anywhere you know. So you have to see to the other person. If the other person is not too welcoming, then don't push too hard, right? It can create more problem, right? Okay, so you have to check the other person. If the other person welcomes your questions, then ask. If the other person is not too welcoming, it doesn't matter, you can ask somebody else. You're getting it? Okay. So what is a composite phenomena? What is non-composite phenomena? Okay, give me some. What is composite phenomena? Anything which is made of, which is composed of physical particles or temporal segments of the mind. What does it mean by temporal segments of the mind? You may have this question. So feel free to ask these questions. You're getting it? Don't feel that, okay, he said it, I do not understand it, but it seems like all other boys and girls, they understood it, they are not asking this, so maybe I'm the odd one, I'm the weird person, right? Don't think like this. Feel free to ask. So this is opportunity for us, for me to learn from you, right? And from your questions. And for you to ask questions is so important. Okay, let's give some examples. Let's give some examples. Anybody, very quick. Anything that comes to your mind, not necessarily composite, non-composite. Forget about these two for timing. Just anything that comes to your mind. Ladakh berries. Yes. Emotions. Emotions come under the mind. Emotions come under the mind. Anything else? Very quick, very quick.
Death is permanent.
No, just say death. You give me an example. Death. So death, that's interesting. Death is, it has two connotations. Death, to make it very full time, to make it very simple, is impermanent. Later on, when you go deeper in philosophy, then I will say it has two parts. One is permanent, one is impermanent. Anybody else? Very quick. Huh? Assumptions. Assumptions is ambiguous in nature. Assumption has the object, assumption has the subject. For example, when it's a concept, the concept, the object of the concept and the conceptualizing mind is also the concept. So two, object, subject. So assumption in the form of the object Assumption in the form of object, it depends. Like what? Assuming that all composite things are impermanent, all composite things are permanent, depends on what? Some are permanent, some are impermanent. Assumption in the form of the subject, that is impermanent. This is the mind. Any more? Very quick. Aging. The aging is impermanent. Okay, impermanent. Aging will fall in the category of the, very good question. Okay, within impermanent there are three. What are they? Hey. Form, mind, non-associated composite factor. So it was something which is impermanent, which is not physical form, which is not mind, falls under number 3, non-associated composite factor. Composite factor means impermanent phenomena. Impermanent phenomena which is not associated as physical form or which is not associated as a mind is known as non-associated composite factor. You getting it? Okay, any other examples? Any other?
Memory.
Memories, very good. Okay, memory. The memory, Tenba. In Ladakh, what do you call it? Tenba. Memory, that falls under mind. But memory, again, it has two. What do you remember and what remembers? What remembers is the mind. What is remembered is your childhood. Right?
What about recognizing?
Recognition. Recognition, same. What is recognized? What recognizes. What recognizes is your mind, which falls under the mind. And what is recognized? This is a flower. Okay, you are Nishita. Right? I recognize her as Nishita. So that is the object. That object depends on Nishita. Nishita is a non-associated composite factor. And then I recognize permanent as permanent. That falls under the non-composite phenomena. Very good. Any other examples? Time. Time is impermanent phenomena. It is not a physical form. It's not a mind. So therefore it is a non-associated composite factor. Very good. Any other examples? Okay. Don't put me into complication. Alright? Okay. Soul. So this is a complicated matter. So here, say, but you are bound to meet with people. People who say that when we die, then our soul will like this, and then, okay. Oh, I learned that in Buddhism there is no soul, right? Okay, so what we have to keep in mind is first I will tell you a very standard position. Then I will boil down to the reality. The standard position is that in Buddhism there is no concept of soul. Atma, soul, this is not accepted in Buddhism. If this is not accepted, then how is the reincarnation, how we explain reincarnation, all these questions are there. You're getting it? Feel free to discuss these points. Okay, this is one very standard position. Now, to go into the practical reality of the people. The people who talk about the soul, there are two. One is ordinary people, other one is philosophers. Right? How the ordinary people understand soul is a self. When I die, I'll travel to the next life. When I die, my soul will travel to the next life. So that soul is in the context of the self. So that soul, how the ordinary people accept, it exists. The philosophers, they make it very complicated. The philosophers, they try to define what the soul is. Then the philosophers, they define the soul as permanent, unitary, and independent. So that's the soul which is characterized by the philosophers as permanent, unitary, independent. Such a soul is non-existent in the Buddhist philosophy. Right? Otherwise, the soul accepted by the ordinary people, that is not rejected. That's a self. It's a matter of the label. Label is different, but it's a self. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So,
Mike?
I don't know if this is right or wrong, but people say when you are reincarnated, like your consciousness gets transferred. So how is mind under this impermanent phenomena instead of permanent?
Okay. So this is a good question. Thank you. What's your name?
Rigzin.
Rinzin La. Okay. Okay, anybody who can repeat Rinzing's question? Anybody who can repeat her question? Boy, girl, anybody? Okay, how many of you followed her question? How many understood what she asked? How many of you did not understand what she asked? What are those who did not raise your hands at all? Half? Anybody who can repeat her question? Because this is a very good question. Anybody who can repeat the question? Raise your hands. Yes. Mike. It's working.
I don't know if I'm right or not.
Don't worry.
She said like when we get reincarnated, our consciousness get transferred. So if that's so, our consciousness that comes in mind, that comes in composite things, how is it impermanent?
Very good. Okay, very good. Did you all follow the question now? The question becomes clear to everybody? Just say yes or no. Yes. If you don't say yes or no, then I don't know whether you understood the question even. If you don't understand the question, whatever answer that I give, there's no point. Right? Okay. So this is very the important question. The question is that what we say is that when we die, our consciousness takes the rebirth. And then what we are learning today, our consciousness, in the one hand, our consciousness and the mind, these two are the same. These two are the vocabulary, English vocabulary, right? Consciousness or namshyas, right? Namshyas, when you die, our namshyas goes to the next life. So the consciousness and mind, these two are the same. And today what we learn is that this mind is impermanent. This consciousness is impermanent. Namshyas is impermanent. If it is impermanent, how it can go to the next life? When we die, it should stop. How can it go to the next life? Right? Okay, this is a huge question. Okay, so for that matter, namshyas, we can translate it as consciousness. Consciousness and mind, these two are same. These two mean the same. Now, if the mind is impermanent, if the consciousness is impermanent, then how can our consciousness go to the next birth? If it is impermanent, how can it go to the next birth? This question. Okay, say how many of your mind came from 2018? No, 2019. Today is 2019 or 2020? 20. Oh, you have a 2020 mind. How many of you have the 2020 mind? Raise hands. How many of mind today? Raise hands. Good. Okay, this mind belongs to 2020 or 2019? Hey. Some of you are still wondering, is it 2020 or 2019? Right? It's 2020. Hey, 2020 January 14th already, right? Okay. Now, this mind that you have now, it came from 2019. Do you agree with me or not? Or you are newborn baby today? No. So you already born. Minimum 20 years ago. How many of you are younger than 20? Raise hands. How many of you are younger than 20? Raise hands. Below 20. Okay, one boy there. Okay. How many of you are younger than 5 years old? 5 years old. Oh, there's a baby there. Okay, so what I'm saying is that your mind, today's mind, 2020 mind came from 2019. So today's mind is richer, or 2019 mind is richer. Today you learned a lot. You are getting it. Today's mind is richer than 2019 mind. 2019 mind changed into a richer mind today, but that mind did not disappear. Although it changed, change means it's impermanent, yet it did not disappear. When it changes, when it's impermanent, doesn't mean that it has to disappear. Usually, we have the impression that impermanent means die, disappear, annihilate. This is how we are wrongly informed. Impermanence means, okay, the glass broke, is impermanent. The person dies, is impermanent. The house crumpled, how simply toned down is impermanent. So this is a very gross understanding of impermanence. Impermanence simply means change. Change may not be from good to bad. It can be from bad to good. Right? Change, say a stupa, old stupa. Some of you might have, you have seen some old stupa, and you renovate it. You renovate it, make it a more beautiful stupa. How many of you did it in your life? You put some, the whitewash it and make it nicer. How many of you did it in your life? Very good. So you change the stupa from the worn out state to a fresh looking stupa. You're getting it? So this stupa became, it changed from worse situation to a better situation. Change does not mean disappear. Change can be from bad to good, good to bad, bad to bad, good to good. You're getting it? So change has all these four forms. It's not necessary that change means only from good to bad or from living to dead. This is not necessary. So our consciousness, while it came from 2019 to 2020, the consciousness changed from less information to more information today. It changed, but the consciousness does not have to disappear. Although it is impermanent, it does not have to disappear. Likewise, when we die today, when we die, we take next rebirth, our consciousness will go to the next birth. For example, Rinzinla, you're a girl today, next birth you're a boy. Right? So this mind of a girl moves to a body of a boy next life. So the mind changes, but the mind does not disappear. It is still there. It is impermanent, it changes, but it does not disappear. You get this, how we explain it. Good. Any more questions? Any questions related to, say your questions from Ladakh? Yes. Mike?
I had this question. What is the essence behind using rosary in Buddhism?
The rosary.
Yeah.
What is the purpose, the reason? Okay, even these questions are very important. And let's see, I may have answers, I may not have answers. You getting it? Likewise, you may ask the same question to somebody in Ladakh who's not exposed to the monk or nun or elders like your parents who are not exposed to the philosophy and so forth. You ask all these questions because Geshe Dojtam encourage us to ask questions, right? It may not be good. So what you do is you ask these questions to somebody who welcomes your questions. You're getting it? This is so important. So your question is very good. Don't think that your questions are small. Your questions, however small the question is, if it's a question, you must not resist it. You must not hold it, right? Questions are very important. Ask them. You're getting it? You may not get the answer right there. If you don't get the answer, you ask the next person, third person, fourth person. Okay, rosary. One, some Rinpoches, they bless you with the rosaries, right? You get a feeling that the rosaries are very blessed. The whole idea is that this rosary is just to count your mantras. It's like a calculator. As simple as that. This is the basic idea. It came from, it's not original Buddhism. It came from the originally what existed before Buddhism. Samkhya, Mimamsaka, Nyaya, Vaisheshik, Vedanta, these traditions, they already use the rosaries. And alongside, in the West, in Jerusalem, the Jews, they were using the rosaries. 5,000 years ago, they were using the rosaries. Then from there, then it descended down to 2020 years ago, Jesus Christ. Christianity started to use the rosaries. Then say how many years ago? Islam? 700 years. Islam more than 700. 1,700. Okay, let's say. So they use the rosaries, right? And then the 2,500 years ago, the Buddhists use the rosaries. 2,500 years, Jainas use the rosaries. Okay, it's just to count the mantras, that's it. It's a calculator. You getting it? It's a very simple, nice calculator. But we did not have the sophisticated calculator. Now, because of this rosary, which is just as an equipment to count how much you have recited, to count the mantra, so that then it is like, for example, say the magnet. Say if you have a magnet, if you put a metal iron with the magnet all the time, then the iron will become magnet. Do you know that? It becomes magnet. Likewise, this rosary, otherwise used as calculator to count the mantras. Calculator, because it's always to count money or count the mantras. Count the mantras, not for money. But some people not even they use it for the money also. Okay, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. They're lazy to look for the calculator, right? With the rosary they use it. This is very bad. Otherwise, generally it is used for virtues, mantras. So this becomes blessed. Because it becomes blessed, so therefore people can use this form to bless you. You're getting it? This idea. The original idea is just to count the mantras, as simple as that. And then any object comes from, say, somebody who is practicing dharma, practicing genuine practice of dharma, say, even gives you like a pen, even that becomes holy for you. How you treat it, that is in your hand. But if you are a very wise person, it becomes this a very holy object. All this is just ordinary pen, you get it for 10 rupees from the shop. And that great teacher, enlightened teacher, picks this up, buys this, and gives to you. This becomes very special. You're getting it? Likewise, it's the rosary. Any more questions? Okay, 1 question, 2. Okay, 3. So 3 last questions. Yes.
Yesterday I was watching documentary on His Holiness Dalai Lama. So I was seeing only the monks are there. Is there in this path nuns are also? I have not seen them in the attire which you are having.
Oh, which means that you have to broader. You have to go to nunneries.
Maybe I don't know.
No, it is there. It is there. Nuns also there.
So there is a different monastery.
So monasteries versus nunneries. Yep. Okay.
Geshe-la, my question is, what is the true meaning of love from Buddhist perspective?
What love?
True meaning of love.
Love, there are many loves. Which love?
Love, like, what is that exact meaning of love?
Love in general?
Love in general, yes. Not,
or your love?
not, I mean love in general.
In general.
In general.
Okay. Love in general. It is a mind, is a mental factor. It's a mental factor which feels close to another object. That object can be physical object or a person or a being which feels close. For example, let's say, your name again? Your name? Chimela. Okay, Chimela, wow, he asked a brilliant question. What is love? It's an amazing question, so good. You getting it? So, I'm so impressed. So, the question is so good. Say, when I leave, your question lingers in my mind. And then, along with this question, Chimela comes to my mind. You're getting it? So, this is a feeling of closeness. Feeling of closeness towards the object. Object meaning can be inanimate object or can be animate object. Now, so this feeling of closeness can arise for different reasons. Feeling of closeness, that is love. And this can arise on multiple reasons, many reasons. 1, because you have money, so I love you. This is money love. Okay. I feel close to you because you look so nice, smart. I feel close to you because you're so educated. I feel close to you because you are from Ladakh. right? So, and then I feel close to you because you're a human being. I feel close to you because you're a sentient being, right? Okay, so there are multiple reasons on the basis of which the feeling of closeness can come. And in some cases, because you are my father, because you are my mother, because you are my child, it's a biological relationship. For any reason which makes your mind to flow towards you, that is known as a feeling of closeness and feeling of love. Yeah, good question. Yes, Sonamla, maybe last question. Anyway, this is a very serious question which Chimila asks, what is love in general? What is this? What is that state? What is that? What do you understand by love now? Love is a mental state which feels close to an object. A mental state which feels close to an object. You're getting me? Any form of love. It can be a very pure love, to a very romantic love, to a love for money, love for position, love for anything can happen. Love for poetry, love for, say, the music, and so forth. Yes, Sonamla?
Hello. Geshe-la, can you give us, please, some examples of non-composite phenomena?
Amazing.
And also, is the Buddha nature composite or non-composite phenomena?
Okay, this is a very good question. Okay, how many of you can spend another 5 minutes with me? Okay, how many? Okay, really 5 minutes, not more. Okay, this is a very heavy question. Very good question, heavy question. What is non-composite phenomena? Number one. Number two, Buddha nature. Is it composite or non-composite? Buddha nature meaning the true nature of purity within each one of us. Is that composite or non-composite? You getting it? This is a very good question. Okay. What's the first part? No, I'm not asking these at the Sonamla. I'm asking others. What's the first question? Examples of non-composite. Okay. Examples of non-composite. No, we cannot do it now. Right? If I give the example, then you ask me how it is non-composite. Right? Again, another 5 minutes. Then if I give the reason, again you will ask how that is this. Again, another 5 minutes. It will go to 9 o'clock. Okay. Some examples. Food for thought. Don't ask me second question. Second question you can ask next session, not now. You're getting it? Okay. Now if you ask, then it will go to like 9 o'clock. Okay, food for thought. Examples of non-composite phenomena. Same. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. My not drinking alcohol. Okay, let's say I am not a girl. Am I a girl or a boy? I'm not a girl. You're getting it? Me not being a girl is a non-composite phenomenon. That I am not a girl. Is it fact or not? Fact means it's a reality. Reality means it's existent. It's a phenomenon. So me, a boy not being a girl, a girl not being a boy, is a non-composite phenomenon. It's not a composite phenomenon. It's a non-composite phenomenon, right? And this glass, oh, the juice is finished. No juice. No juice in this glass is also a non-composite phenomenon, right? It doesn't mean that Omala should put more juice inside, right? Panorama, what happened? Okay, no juice inside. That's also non-composite phenomena. Juice inside, juice, there's juice. This composite, there's no juice. Okay, there's a tissue. This composite phenomena. No tissue. Right hand, tissue. Left hand, no tissue. Tissue in my right hand, this is composite. No tissue in my left hand, this is non-composite. Any questions?
Hello Geshe-la. So my question is, can we differentiate between emotions and the thinking part of the brain?
Okay. Two questions. I know Sonam is going to ask.
And just one follow-up question. And which should prevail, or how can we control and among this?
Control what?
Emotions and the thinking part of the brain.
Okay.
And how?
So they say they are the now one. Sonamla is going to ask a follow-up question, which is how is the no tissue is a non-composite phenomena. How is it non-composite phenomena? This is what he's going to ask. This when many of you want to ask, not now, right? And then the next question is, how do you distinguish between the emotion and the thinking part of the brain? How do you distinguish that? And then what else?
And how to overcome?
How to control?
Which should prevail?
How to overcome the?
How to control the emotions when it affects our thinking process, or the thinking process
how to
which affects our emotions?
How to control the emotions which impedes our thinking process,
or vice versa.
Okay, vice versa, right? The next session, right? So next session, who's going to remind me to go into the details of the four seals? Who's going to remind me? Raise your hand. Somebody who? Tamala, Nishita, the girl there, you want to remind me? Yes, what's your name? Oh, two Rinzins together. Okay, Rinzin, which subject? Civil engineering? Okay, civil engineering, Rinzin. Tamala, Nishita, three of them will remind me that next session with me. Not with Pujala, with me, is the four seals in detail. Then the Sonamala's question. Then your name?
Kunchab.
Kunchab last question. Kunchab question you have to ask. Sonamala's question you have to ask. You're getting it? Okay. So this is what we're going to do next time. Okay, we stop here. Dedication prayer. Mike.
Please turn to page number 82. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chendrasik Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by the victorious ones thus gone of the 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. We'll read the Tibetan part of it now. Jang chup sem chok rinpoche, ma ke panam ke gurchik, ke panyam pa me payang, gong ne gong du pel varshok. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of a Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realizations of the deeds and the prayers of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the upholding of the Dharma of teaching and realization. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle and accomplish all the stages of the path: renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect view, and the 2 stages. all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. The path of the union of emptiness and compassion is lucidly explained by the protector of both the Dharma and the beings of the snowland. You are the lotus holder, Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds, of the negative forces of humans and non-humans who harbor malice through perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas, be totally vanquished through the power of the truth of the three jewels. In all my lives never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and paths. May I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by Arya Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings on dependent origination in particular, even at the cost of my life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your tremendous enthusiasm. I can see this enthusiasm in you. Keep it up. See you next time.